Hi, everyone. My name is Katie. I'm the Executive Assistant to our CEO here at Tiger Recruitment. Welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining our private team's first LinkedIn Live event.
Yes, so my name is Lydia. I manage the private desk in our London West End office, and it's great to be here doing our first live. We just thought it might be interesting to share a bit of an insight into what we're seeing currently across the private recruitment market.
So I'm just going to jump straight in and ask you my first question, Lydia. What employer trends have you seen so far in Q3?
So yes, starting out this year, we did see a very client-led market. There were very few roles and less movement than we would usually have expected to see starting out the year. However, over the past few months, we have started to see a bit of a shift in the market. We've had quite a few new roles coming in across all sectors, which has certainly been encouraging to see. We have seen an increase in demand for round-the-clock support for our clients. I think this is largely due to the international lifestyle of many of the clients we have. They want, staff that can sort of adapt to their schedule and, travel with them as required. So we do appreciate that it's not always sustainable long-term, to be there globally 24/7 for our candidates. So a lot of our clients are now looking for those on a sort of rota basis. So perhaps working 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, just to ensure they do have that sort of 24/7 care that they require, but also giving ample time for rest for the candidates they employ. So over the last sort of couple of months, we've been very busy with temporary and contract inquiries in London. We've got a lot of Middle Eastern clients that come over for the summer months, and they have particularly needed a large number of sort of private PAs and concierge lifestyle assistants for while they're in London. So helping them with everything from arranging taxis, booking appointments, booking their restaurants, accompanying them to dinner where required, just to make sure they have the best possible care whilst they're in town.
Fantastic. So what job seeker trends have you seen so far in Q3?
So we really do have some truly fantastic top level staff on our books at the moment, some really strong chief of staffs, EAs, private PAs. We've had quite a few of these candidates getting in touch with us, keen to make a change. Perhaps they've been in their role for quite some time and they're looking to take a next step in their career. However, across the market, we haven't seen quite as much movement at the top level. I think this is likely given the uncertainty we have at the moment in the sort of economic and political climate. Some of our candidates that are in their long-term roles are staying that bit longer and, just waiting to see what happens in the current months. I think it will be really interesting to see what happens in the October budget and how this might affect the market. Because at the moment, I do just think that candidates are being that little bit more cautious when it comes to changing role. Saying that, over the past few weeks, we're starting to see a bit of a shift, and we're hoping that this is a real sign of things to come.
What do you expect to see across the private recruitment market in the coming months?
So September is always a very busy month across recruitment, and it tends to come after the summer months when many of our clients are away or travelling. Often recruitment needs get put on hold until people return from annual leave. So we have seen an increase, as usual, in staff hire requests, especially for permanent staff. However, maybe not as much as we have done in previous years. So things are still a little bit slower than we'd hoped for a standard September month. We were actually lucky enough to attend the Monaco Yacht Show this year, which was fantastic. A great event, and met some fantastic people there. It was quite interesting to touch base, with some of the family office staff and things. And the word on the ground was that, whilst many of our clients and family offices are considering moves to the, traditional tax haven beneficiaries, the standard locations such as Monaco and Dubai, it was quite interesting to hear that Abu Dhabi was actually highly featured on many of our clients' lists. Lots of clients looking to relocate to Abu Dhabi. And also it seems that the sort of mass exodus that we expected following the sort of non-dom status tax change hasn't had quite the impact that we initially expected. Many of our clients are choosing to stay put in the UK, at least for the time being at least. So hopefully this will reflect across the job market here.
Are there any particular roles that are in high demand at the moment?
So again, we are seeing, these rota request roles, as I mentioned, to give this sort of global cover. But we're also getting quite a lot of UK requests for sort of household all-rounders, so those that can do the housekeeping, childcare, some house management duties, some admin duties, cooking. It's, quite a sort of broad ask for one candidate. So while some people, survive really well in that type of job, and, it's something that they really enjoy, having that sort of, multitasking and, variation in the role, it can sort of lead to, candidate burnout if they're, being pulled in too many directions, and it means that they can't, give their all in everything that they're doing. So I would just think, it's always good to think carefully if you are looking for somebody that's a real all-rounder, whether or not, that amount of work is, suitable for one person. And if you're unsure, feel free to give us a call and we can help you run through and see, whether or not we can make a description that sort of works for both the client and the candidate.
What is your advice to any job seekers looking for a role?
So I think there is a bit of competition at the moment. There's definitely some really strong candidates out there, and we're not seeing quite as much movement as we'd hoped, as mentioned. So I would say, just really make sure your CV is really, well written, up to date, and highlight anything, additional courses that you might have done, any other experiences you've had with travel, how flexible you can be. It's all worth, including in your CV. And if you are a little bit unsure, with how the sort of CV reads, and maybe you're not getting the traction that you would have hoped, then, even if you're already registered with us, do feel free to reach out and give us a call. I'd be more than happy, or one of our consultants would be more than happy here on the private desk, just to run through the CV with you, just to advise on any tweaks that might sort of give you that best chance of getting the role that you're hoping to secure.
Great. What is your advice to any employers recruiting new staff?
So I know there is quite a bit of change at the moment, whether it's moving your family office, somewhere abroad, or if you're sort of having multiple residences in different locations. I think it's just really important to make sure that you are structuring your staff correctly, managing the move, and really getting the best out of the staff that you have. So if you would like, again, just to book in for a quick chat, no obligation, but just really nice to run through what your needs are, and we can sort of help you advise on what would work best to ensure that you're getting the most on a global scale out of your team.
Great. Well, Lydia, thank you so much. It's been great speaking with you this afternoon, and thank you to everyone who's been watching along.
Great to speak with you, Katie, and I look forward to catching up again at the end of Q4.